I'm Erica Williams. I'm Executive Director of the DC Fiscal Policy Institute, where we shape racially just tax, budget, and policy decisions by centering Black and Brown communities in our research and analysis, in our community partnerships, and in our advocacy efforts in order to advance an anti-racist, equitable future here in DC. I think there is room, and we have had in DC an effort to move legislation to create a task force, a group that would look at reparations for DC and what that would look like, and that would happen through our policy process. But we also can be doing reparative policy, if maybe not reparations per se, but reparative policy through our budget every year. So for example, we're thinking about, and part of our policy agenda that we're working on under the Health Equity Fund support that we've got is how do we circumvent the labor market discrimination that holds back Black and Brown folks and particularly Black folks, when they're trying to go find a job? And how do we circumvent for young Black workers in DC who have astronomical unemployment rates, the barriers that they're facing? And we're looking at a guaranteed jobs program for young workers to try and address that, to try and get past the discrimination that's sort of built into that system, and to give real opportunity for young folks, young Black folks in the district that want to connect to the labor market, that want to be part of this economy, the chance to actually do that and in a way that's supportive. So what's the program look like that supports folks with, starting from where they are? So maybe they need extra skill building or other kinds of supports. Maybe they're ready for a job placement, but what's the kind of program we can create that starts folks off on the right foot so that their future looks different than the generations before them?
I'm Dominic Moulden, and I'm a member of Organizing Neighborhood Equity, or people know us as 1DC. 1DC is a member-based organization, and I'm a member of 1DC, and I work with the Right to Resource Committee, which most people call fundraising or resource development, but we call it resource organizing because all of our work is based in organizing working class Black people in DC to build power. We get support from the Greater Washington Community Foundation under the Health Equity Fund, partly because our mission is to exercise the political strength to create economic and racial equity. So we've been talking about racial equity decades before people talked about it, because the way we organize, we don't organize to just deal with surface issues. We're organizing to create a new structure and a new system. So health equity fits into this because we're trying to change the relationship between Black, Brown, and immigrant people in health. So the way we're doing that is with a project that's called the Healthy Workers Collective. And it's focused on worker cooperatives. And so we have 3 worker cooperatives that are being supported by this fund. Reparation is a political issue. And so as Black people in DC, we should have everything that we need. So for us, getting resources for these 3 worker co-ops is part of a reparation strategy. But for 1DC, it's way bigger than that, okay? So let me get us in trouble because you can look us up and we're known for this, but land needs to be taken or given back. That's another part of the issue for us. One of the biggest issues in our community around health is health and housing, right? So when people have unstable housing, it causes all types of social issues. So as you can see with the Healthy Workers Collective, we're dealing with the work part of our community, right? But on the other side, we need reparations around land and housing for the hundreds of thousands of units of housing, especially public housing, that has been destroyed, and for probably the 40 to 60,000 Black people who were removed from DC against their will, right? And so for us, it's about reparations for health, housing, labor, It's about reparations for the digital divide. It's about reparations to create more worker co-ops, right? So that we have a new ecosystem, right, that we're building from. So we're not building from the legacy that we celebrated yesterday, right? Emancipation Day, the negative side of that, right? Where the white folks got paid for freeing enslaved Africans, right? Think about how crazy that is, right? But we want to celebrate the new emancipation, which is not only do we have reparations, but we are building our own power to free ourselves, right? So that's the way we look at reparations.
My name is Sebrena Rhodes. My organization is Empower DC. We work all over the city. My role is community organizer in Ivy City. That's where pretty much Empower DC started, working on the Alexander Crummell School, which has been closed for over 40 years. So Empower DC has been fighting to have that as a community center for the community. And we did win the whole entire 2 acres with the school on it. It's named after Alexander Crummell, an abolitionist and a black man. And it was a public school for children during times of segregation. Black children were only allowed to go to certain schools. So the community fought to have this school in Ivy City so that their children can have a safe place to go to school. One particular thing that we're fighting against is a chemical plant that's been in our community for 90 years. And it's using cancer-causing chemicals. That's the environmental justice issue that we're fighting, because this family-owned company, who the owner lives in Chevy Chase in a gated community, decides to put a facility that uses cancer-causing chemicals in a historic black community. And they've been doing it for 90 years and the city didn't know about it. That's another thing that wakes me up, because I want to make sure that they are gone. You know, I want to make sure that the city removed them from our community. And that, as far as I'm concerned, they can put them in Chevy Chase. With the reparations, you gotta go in the first layer, which is dealing with these racist systems, dealing with the chemical plant that's destroying our health, destroying our ecosystem. We don't have green space. We're dealing with a urban heat island effect, which our community gets 10 to 20 degrees hotter than any community in a district. It's on the map because we don't have green space. And then we have half of our community is industrial. So because it's industrial, we have all these industrial uses and we get all this pollution. And so our community is in the red. And reparations, yeah, that has something to do with reparations, because if we don't fix our community and make sure that we distribute some of this industrial uses throughout the city, then we're going to continue to have health issues. We have people that's dying from cancer and they don't even know if it's environmental or not, which it could be. The trucks that dump your trash, that dumps the trash, the trucks are housed in our community. And then the trash dump is in Brentwood. So Brentwood, which is our neighboring community across the train tracks in New York Avenue, their whole community smell like a trash can. So we have chemicals, we have industrial uses, we have parking lots for government fleets. We have emissions coming from not only Amtrak, but New York Avenue, which is a parking lot every day. And then we have all these different industrial uses that's causing health issues in our community. So until we fix that, I mean, with reparations, I want my check. At the same time, we have to fix the systemic issues that's been going on for hundreds of years. for years and years. We have to fix that stuff. And nobody is talking about it. Nobody is talking about it because they don't live with it.
That's it right there.